Women over 50, listen closely. If you've been using castor oil on your face, hoping it would smooth your wrinkles or boost collagen, yet nothing truly changes, it is not because castor oil doesn't work. It's because it was never meant to work alone. What you're experiencing isn't failure or aging, it's simply inactive collagen. And the oil that activates it may already be sitting quietly in your home. My name is Dr. Eliza Hart, a board-certified obstetrician and gynecologist with over 15 years of experience helping women understand how hormones, collagen, and skin truly behave after 50. What I've discovered is that collagen doesn't simply disappear. It becomes silent, unresponsive, almost asleep. That's why even when you massage castor oil nightly, your skin may feel softer, but it doesn't become firmer, brighter, or truly renewed. It's not your effort that's missing, it's activation. After 50, circulation slows, fibroblast cells lose their signal, and collagen loses its ability to repair itself. Oils and creams can soften, but without activation, nothing transforms. But here's the part that surprises most women: castor oil is actually the first step. It prepares the skin, but it needs a second oil to awaken collagen. Before we continue, please subscribe, comment your country to show how far this message is reaching, and help me reach my first 50,000 subscribers so I can keep creating science-based skincare guidance for women like you. Watch until the end. There's a small surprise that may change how you care for your skin forever. Now let's begin with why castor oil alone doesn't rebuild collagen. 1. Why castor oil alone doesn't rebuild collagen after 50. When most women first discover castor oil, they are drawn to its rich texture and comforting feel on mature skin. It leaves the surface feeling smoother, calmer, even slightly plumper. Yet after weeks or even months of use, many quietly wonder why the deeper changes they hoped for never truly appear. The fine lines are still visible, the cheeks still look flat, and the natural glow that once felt effortless now seems distant. This isn't because castor oil doesn't help, it does, but it helps in a very specific way that is often misunderstood. It moisturizes, but it does not activate. Castor oil is what we call an occlusive and humectant oil, meaning it helps trap moisture and soften the outer layer of the skin. After 50, when the skin becomes drier and thinner, that soothing moisture feels valuable. However, while this oil can help hold hydration on the surface, it cannot penetrate deeply enough to stimulate fibroblast cells, which are responsible for producing collagen and elastin. These cells do not respond to moisture alone. They need biochemical activation, microcirculation, and energy signals to wake up and begin rebuilding. Let's take a moment to understand what happens beneath the surface. After menopause, estrogen levels decline, and blood vessels in the skin's lower layers become narrower and less responsive. As a result, oxygen delivery slows down, cellular metabolism weakens, and fibroblast cells gradually become inactive. You might still be applying creams, serums, or oils, but nothing truly improves because the environment inside the skin is not ready to repair. Imagine trying to grow flowers in dry, inactive soil. Even with seeds and sunlight, without activated soil, nothing blooms. That is what happens with castor oil when used alone. It softens, it comforts, but it cannot change the internal state of the skin. It prepares the surface, but it does not awaken what lies beneath. Fibroblasts remain quiet. Collagen fibers remain unstructured, and wrinkles simply rest where they are. That is why so many women describe a feeling of soft but still sagging, or moisturized but not renewed. They sense improvement but not transformation. But here is the hopeful part. Castor oil is not the wrong tool, it is just the first tool. When used correctly, it creates the ideal foundation. But to achieve true activation, something else must be added. Something that opens circulation, carries oxygen, and tells fibroblast cells it's time to rebuild. And that is exactly what we are going to uncover next. 2. The real reason collagen declines: not aging, but poor microcirculation. Most women believe that wrinkles, thinning skin, and loss of elasticity are simply the result of age. They assume that after 50, collagen naturally fades away and there is little that can be done beyond surface care. But the truth is far more hopeful and far more scientific. Collagen does not vanish with age. It becomes undersupplied. It becomes poorly nourished, underactivated, and unable to repair. In other words, collagen loss is not a surface issue. It is a circulation issue. To understand why we must look beneath the surface far deeper than any cream or serum can reach. After menopause, estrogen levels decline, and with that drop, the body begins to experience a chain reaction. Blood vessels in the skin become narrower. Capillaries lose flexibility. Oxygen delivery becomes slower and less efficient. Without oxygen, cells cannot repair. Without oxygen, fibroblasts cannot produce collagen. It is not that collagen disappears, it is that collagen production slows down because the cellular environment is no longer optimally supported. Healthy skin is not just hydrated skin, it is oxygenated skin. Fibroblast cells rely on oxygen to create new collagen fibers to restore structure, to rebuild elasticity. When circulation weakens, these cells become sluggish. They do not respond to topical oils or moisturizers because they cannot receive their basic fuel, oxygen, and nutrients. This is why some women notice that their skin looks pale, cool to the touch, or flat even after moisturizing. They are not lacking oils. They are lacking movement beneath the skin movement of blood oxygen and cellular repair. Here is something few women are told when your hands and feet often feel cold, when your cheeks feel less warm than before, when your skin bruises easily or heals slowly. These are not just signs of aging. They are signals of reduced microcirculation. They are signs that your skin is not receiving enough oxygen to maintain its natural repair system. And when repair weakens, wrinkles form, not because the skin is old, but because it is undernourished. When we restore proper microcirculation, even partially, something remarkable begins to happen. The skin warms slightly. Color improves. Fine lines soften. Collagen does not have to be forced, it simply needs to be supported. But circulation alone is not enough. The body also needs a biochemical signal, a trigger to tell fibroblasts, it is time to repair. Castor oil cannot provide that signal, but another oil can. And that is exactly where we are headed next. 3. Rosemary oil, the cellular activator that castor oil needs. For years, castor oil has been praised for its soothing and moisturizing effect on mature skin. It comforts dryness, softens texture, and gives the appearance of smoother skin. But while many women expected it to reduce wrinkles or restore firmness, something always felt incomplete. That is because castor oil prepares the skin, it does not activate it. To truly reactivate collagen, the skin needs a cellular signal, and that signal often comes from rosemary oil. Rosemary oil is not just fragrant, it is biologically active. Its key compounds rosmarinic acid, carnosic acid, and 1-8-cineole have been shown to improve microcirculation, increase blood flow, and gently stimulate oxygen delivery to deeper layers of the skin. After age 50, when estrogen declines, the blood vessels beneath the skin naturally become less reactive, slowing repair and reducing fibroblast activity. Rosemary oil supports the reawakening of that process. Unlike castor oil, which remains closer to the surface as an occlusive moisture barrier, rosemary oil works below the surface. It helps energize the skin's environment, encouraging fibroblast cells to produce new collagen fibers. This is the difference between comfort and renewal. Castor oil hydrates, rosemary oil activates. Working together, they become far more powerful than either oil alone. This stimulation does not happen instantly like cosmetic fillers. It follows the body's own biological rhythm, supporting healthier tissue from within. As circulation improves, nutrient delivery, increases oxygen transfer, becomes more efficient, and the fibroblast cells once considered dormant begin transitioning from passive to active repair mode. In a 2022 clinical observation, researchers noted that rosemary extract improved microcirculation in mature skin by over 40%, particularly in areas with thinning and dryness. Another study showed that when combined with a carrier oil, rosemary oil helped stimulate fibroblasts and increased collagen density over a 6-week period. Women did not just feel smoother skin, they began to notice renewed firmness, natural warmth, and improved tone. And this is the moment many describe as their skin coming back to life. Not because they found a stronger product, but because they finally began working with the skin's biology, not against it. If you've ever felt that skincare products simply rest on the surface without truly improving your skin, you are not alone. That often means moisture is present, but activation is missing. If that sounds familiar, quietly comment 1 below. And if you believe the missing step might be collagen activation, not just hydration, comment 0. Because when hydration meets activation, renewal finally begins. And now let's explore how these two oils must be combined correctly to unlock that process. 4. When castor oil meets rosemary, the biological transformation. When castor oil and rosemary oil are used separately, they each serve meaningful but incomplete purposes. Castor oil acts as a carrier and moisture-locking base, softening the skin's outer layer and preparing it for deeper nourishment. Rosemary oil, however, provides activation, stimulating circulation, lightly increasing warmth, and signaling cellular awakening. But when these two oils are blended correctly, something exceptional happens. They form what can be called a collagen activation oil blend. This blend is not just a mixture of oils, it becomes an environment where hydration, oxygen flow, and cellular communication align to support collagen remodeling beneath the surface. In biology, moisture alone cannot repair. Movement alone cannot rebuild. But when moisture retention meets activation, the skin begins to mimic a process called osmotic flow. This flow gently pulls oxygen, nutrients, and micronutrients through the lipid layers, delivering them directly to fibroblast cells, the very cells responsible for repairing and rebuilding collagen fibers. Instead of sitting on the surface like most creams or oils, this blend encourages deep diffusion, allowing fibroblast cells to become active rather than passive. As moisture is held in place by castor oil, circulation stimulated by rosemary oil helps maintain warmth in the deeper layers of the skin. That warmth is not just a surface feeling, it is a biological sign that circulation is returning, oxygen is entering, and fibroblast cells are receiving what they need to begin rebuilding collagen fibers in their proper structure. The collagen formed this way is not just water-filled or temporary, it is structured, stable, and metabolically supported. This is why many women describe the first changes not as visible results, but as a feeling. My skin feels alive again. Some even notice that their skin, once cool or pale, begins to feel lightly warm to the touch, almost like it is gently waking up. They describe it as a calming heat, not irritation. A quiet fullness, not swelling. The skin begins to look slightly brighter, more responsive, more elastic, not because something is added from the outside, but because something is reactivated from within. This is not a cosmetic reaction. It is physiological alignment, moisture retention, microcirculation, oxygen, transport, fibroblast reactivation. It is biology responding to what it understands. And once this activation begins, timing becomes the next critical step. Because repair does not happen all day, it happens when the body is ready to heal, not just protect. 5. The golden timing window, when collagen activation actually happens. Even when the right oils are combined and the skin enters a state of activation, repair will not fully happen unless it aligns with the body's biological repair clock. Collagen is not produced randomly throughout the day, nor does the skin rebuild simply because nourishment has been applied. True collagen remodeling takes place when the body naturally enters its repair state, a biological window known as the repair window, occurring approximately between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. During these hours, melatonin levels begin to rise, signaling the body to shift from daytime protection mode into nighttime restoration mode. Growth hormone is released in small but powerful pulses, supporting cellular regeneration, microvascular repair, and collagen rebuilding. This is when fibroblast activity reaches peak responsiveness, and when the blend of castor oil and rosemary oil applied at the right time can support deeper structural repair. It is not about forcing the skin to change, it is about working with the skin when it is naturally ready to heal. Applying the oil blend 45 to 60 minutes before bedtime allows it to fully absorb, gradually increasing warmth and circulation in the deeper skin layers just before the repair process begins. By the time melatonin and growth hormone activate, fibroblast cells are already hydrated, oxygenated, and prepared to begin collagen synthesis. This timing is not cosmetic advice, it is endocrinology. Using the blend during the day may soften the skin, but it will not deliver the same level of biological impact. That is because during daylight hours, the skin is in defense mode, focusing on protection from UV light pollution and stress, not repair. Even when high-quality serums or oils are applied in the morning, the skin primarily channels its energy toward barrier support, temperature regulation, and antioxidant defense, rather than true structural renewal. But at night, when blood vessels relax and circulation improves, rosemary oil becomes more effective at delivering oxygen. Castor oil, meanwhile, helps maintain deep hydration as temperature and metabolic activity increase. This alignment of moisture-oxygen and hormonal signaling is what makes nighttime application uniquely powerful. Some women describe the experience as subtle at first, a faint warmth, softer texture, and a sense of comfort. Over time, there is a gradual change in how the skin feels, not just moisturized, but supported, nurtured, and actively renewing. Because repair is not a daytime event, it is a nighttime process. 6. The correct ratio formula and how to use it properly. When it comes to castor oil and rosemary oil, the effectiveness lies not in using more, but in using them correctly. Mature skin, especially after age 50, does not respond well to heavy, dense textures or concentrated essential oils. It responds to balance, a formulation that supports hydration, enhances circulation, and protects the lipid barrier without overwhelming it. That is why the correct ratio matters. The foundational blend is simple: 2 teaspoons of castor oil as the carrier base and 2 phospholipid support, combined with 3 to 5 drops of rosemary essential oil. No more, no less. This creates an optimal concentration that supports oxygen delivery, warmth activation, and absorption without risk of irritation. Mixing the oils in the palm before application allows mild warming through friction, which gently prepares both oils for absorption. The warmth feels subtle, not hot, not tingly, just enough to support microcirculation without causing stress or inflammation. Apply the blend with light pressure using slow upward motions across the jawline, neck, cheeks, and forehead. These are areas where fibroblast decline is most noticeable, leading to sagging and thinning. A gentle 3 to 5 minute massage helps enhance absorption and lymphatic flow without stretching or pulling delicate skin. This is not a rubbing technique, it is a nourishment technique. Use the blend 3 to 4 nights per week, preferably during the evening repair window, allowing the skin time to adapt rather than overwhelming it. Using it every night may lead to overhydration or interfere with natural lipid balance in very mature skin. Consistency matters more than frequency. If combined with sufficient hydration, stress reduction, and natural light exposure in the morning, the effectiveness multiplies over time as skin metabolism begins to work in harmony again. Safety is just as important as effectiveness. Because rosemary oil is bioactive, it should never be applied undiluted. Always perform a patch test before first use, especially for sensitive or hormone-reactive skin types. Avoid applying on inflamed skin, open acne, or rosacea flare-ups. Women with hormone-sensitive conditions, pregnancy, or undergoing medical treatment should always consult a healthcare professional before using essential oils. Mature skin does not need more products. It needs wiser products, ones that align with how the skin heals, absorbs, and renews itself. When used with precision, this simple blend supports hydration, activation, and repair without harshness, without confusion, and without forcing results. Because when the formula is correct, the skin knows exactly what to do. 7. the long-term benefits when used consistently. The most meaningful change does not happen on the first night of application. It happens slowly, quietly, and steadily as your skin begins to remember how to function the way it once did. When castor oil and rosemary oil are used consistently over 3 to 6 weeks, something remarkable begins to unfold beneath the surface. Instead of feeling dry, tight, or fragile, the skin starts retaining moisture not just on the surface, but deep within the dermal layers where true repair takes place. That gentle shift from dehydration to hydration is a sign that circulation is improving, pH is balancing, and fibroblasts are becoming active again. Mature skin does not respond quickly, but it responds deeply, and that depth is what creates lasting change. One of the first noticeable changes women often describe is that their skin stops feeling cold and begins to feel gently warm, especially around the cheeks and jawline. That is not just a cosmetic change. It is a sign of microcirculation returning, allowing nutrients, oxygen, and collagen-building amino acids to move through the skin more efficiently. When fibroblasts receive oxygen consistently, they begin producing collagen fibers that are naturally tighter, more elastic, and structurally stable. This is what separates true collagen regeneration from simple water plumping that fades overnight. Around week 4, fine lines around the eyes, forehead, and mouth begin to soften. These changes are not dramatic, but they are real. The skin appears smoother, fuller, and more even in tone. It feels less thin, less dull, and less easily irritated. By week 6, many women report that their skin looks alive again. Not perfect, not artificially young, but alive, warm, nourished, responsive, and strong. And that is the real transformation. Not looking younger, but looking well, looking healthy, looking like yourself again. Over time, many women also notice that their morning reflection feels less harsh and more forgiving, as if the face in the mirror finally matches the way they still feel inside. Some women describe a deeper shift, something they did not expect. They say, "I feel present in my skin again." It is not just about aesthetics. It is about feeling reconnected to the body, as if the skin is no longer something to cover, hide, or correct, but something to care for and trust. This is not about reversing age. It is about restoring physiology, giving your skin what it has been missing so it can do what it was designed to do all along. When chemistry is supported, beauty follows naturally, quietly, and consistently. Your skin is not fading, it is simply waiting to be reactivated. Aging did not take away your beauty, it only slowed the chemistry that once worked effortlessly. What castor oil and rosemary oil do together is not a miracle, not magic, and not a shortcut. They simply help restore the environment your skin has been quietly asking for: hydration, warmth, oxygen, and cellular activation. When these elements come together, collagen does not just appear on the surface. It begins to rebuild from within. That is why the change feels different, not artificial, not temporary, but deeply human, deeply biological, and deeply yours. So tonight, begin gently. Warm a small blend in your palms, breathe deeply, and let your skin receive what it has been missing, not to chase perfection, but to support healing. If this message has helped you even in a small way and you wish to support this channel's growth, you can consider contributing or donating so I can keep creating science-based guidance for women over 50. Your support in any form fuels this mission of education, confidence, and restoration. If you found value in this video, like, share, and subscribe. Your engagement helps this message reach more women who need it. Thank you for being here, for trusting the process, and for choosing to nourish the skin you live in. You are not done. Your glow is not gone. Your skin is waiting to be reactivated.